So I quit my job. Yeah, I quit. Oh, my goodness. What a burden that has been lifted up off my shoulders. Oh, I feel so good. You have no idea how great it feels to be relieved of things that are holding you down. And sometimes it could be your job. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that I quit my 9 to 5 job. And I know a lot of you probably already figured she doing something, because you know what? The money done picked up over there on her end. How is that possible? Yeah, I went on ahead and quit. And I'm going to tell you when. And I'm going to tell you why I just decided now to let you guys in on my little secret. It was a secret because you know the rule of thumb. When you decide you're going to do something, and it's something that you know is going to be detrimental to your life, to your future, and you are very serious about it, you need to plan, you need to be strategic, and you need to learn how to what? Keep your mouth closed. Okay, so that's one of the main things I did was I decided to keep my mouth closed, let it run its course from the beginning, and see exactly how far along I get before I throw into the most hugest panic attack that you can ever imagine having. But you know what? It didn't even happen that way. But let me tell you guys my story, okay? Of course, it's story time. Let's talk about it, because I know a lot of you probably have endured some of the same things, or probably going through some of the same stuff, and you just decided that you want to, but you probably just worried about doing it. Let me tell you something. Do it when you're ready now. Don't do it because of what I did, okay? It's certain things that I do share on this channel, and I let you guys in on, and I say at that point, do as I do. But at this situation, I can't say that because I don't know your situation. So I can't exactly tell you that. But I do want to share my story with you. So what had happened was, okay, so the end of last year, I had a conversation over the phone with my mom. My mom lived in Atlanta, and I had a conversation over the phone with her, and I was telling her, you know, she always was the main one, would be loved. She loved to say, look, let me tell you something, Deetra. Live your life, girl. You got one life. When it's over, you get old like me, you're going to be wishing you had her. You're going to be looking back, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty, okay? She talked about how many times she sat up at night just in distress over things that she should have done with her life that she didn't do. And she was like, Deetra, you better get it done. You better get it done. Okay. I was talking to her about the fact that I wanted to just go ahead and let it go, and I was telling her about all these different adventures that I was doing, and I told her, you're going to look around, I'm going to be done, quit this job. Watch what I tell you. You're going to look around, and I'm going to be standing at your doorstep, and I'm going to be job free. You're going to see. And she was like, okay, I'm going to be waiting on you. Come on. I said, no, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to surprise you. You know, but God had other plans, okay? I let the job go. This was before the holiday. And I never told you guys about this one, okay? But I had actually let the job go. I just had enough. And I let it go. And the very following week is when I got a word that my mom had passed away. And I was like, okay, what is this? You know, I quit my job, you know, I'm going to surprise her, and at least that I know I was the one that was in for a surprise. But anyway, let's just keep this video on point because I'm taking it somewhere. Okay. Anyway. So when I quit the job, and she passed away, and I realized that we had this huge new situations. And you know, when they tell you to have these huge emergency funds stacked away and all these different things, I've always been a risk taker. So I was not going to let that deter me. Because bear in mind now, I was not quitting for some entrepreneur tip that I was going to be on, like I've done before in the past, which worked out wonderfully until, life situations just changed things for me. I just knew that I would be okay because I'm still going to be working. I'll just be working for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling my own shots. You know what I'm saying? I know that I can do that. I'm very self-motivated. I don't need nobody to tell me to get up. I don't need nobody to tell me to make appointments. I don't need nobody to tell me to be where I'm supposed to be at a certain time on a certain day. I don't need nobody to tell me that. I don't need nobody to tell me that I have bills and insurances and all these different things that's got to be paid. I know what I got to do. I'm grown, okay? So I knew I was going to be all right as long as I got enough work up under my belt. But at that point, I wasn't completely stabilized, okay? I was just going to work my butt off to get to where I needed to be. But when this happened and I realized that I was going to be making trips back and forth to Atlanta, and I still got to make another one this month coming up because we have an estate sale that's about to happen and all these different things and getting the house situated, all this old stuff. And it's a long drawn out process. And I knew that I did not have emergency funds for any situation like this. Okay, so I had to decide what I was going to do, and I had been gone from the job at this point before I went back about 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. You know what? Y'all probably like, how you end up going back? Babe, let me tell you something, when you work from home, you'll be amazed at how you can slide back up in there. But you know what? It just happened that way. Someone called me on the phone, and but when I told you guys that I was doing through contract work anyway. So I had the job going on 2 years, and so the company called was like, we haven't received any timesheets or anything from you. And I was like, cause I didn't tell them at that point I had quit. Okay, I had to keep that to myself because I was like, okay, look at God showing up, because I got nervous. I was like, this you about to be in the fix. Long story short, I went back to the job. Okay, so once I got back in the job, and I still was having these issues where I just knew it was time to go. And I'm going to do a series on how you know it's time to let your 9 to 5 go. For those of you who are having little thoughts in your head and you just don't know exactly what you should do or when you should make a move or why you should make a move, I'm going to talk to you guys based off my own personal experiences, okay? But I knew that it was time once again for me to go. And how I knew at that moment was, not only was at the beginning when I first quit, remember, I didn't have my stuff together. So I didn't know exactly how many contracts I was going to have coming up. I didn't know what was going to happen because, it's slow boogieing with the book, right? So, you got to wait and you wait and you wait. So I was like, you're going to have to make sure that you know this time, because when you get up out of that chair the next time, you need to get up. You need to get up for what? For good. So that's what I decided to do. So anyway, this time I had a plan in place, and I just, instead of jumping the gun, let me just take my time and get it right. So that's what I decided to do. And I know you're probably saying, well, it ain't been that long since the last time. No, it ain't been that long, because the plan that I had started coming into fruition very fast, okay? So I ended up with extra contracts. So what I did was I started writing down every day what I was making, okay? Let's say I would write down the week of such and such through such and such. And then I would put Monday, and I would put Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then at the end of Monday, whatever work I did on Monday, because when you do field work, you know what you're getting done for this file. You know what, not getting done. You know what you're getting paid for this file. You know what you're going to get paid for that file. So I would write down at the end of the day the appointments that I had and what I went and took care of that day, and I would write down how much money I made that day. And even now, bear in mind, now you're not going to get paid that day, because I have one company that pay every 2 weeks. I have one that pay every week, and I have another one who pays every week. And now I have a third one that pay a fourth one, and it pays once a month on the 20th. Okay, and then I got another one that's going to pay every 2 weeks that I just started on, and I just have my first inspections to do for them on this week. Okay, so I knew that I was not going to have the money right immediately in my hand, but I knew what I was making day for day, so I would know exactly what I had coming my way toward the end of the month. So I did it like that every day of the week, okay? And what I did was, like on Monday of that first week, I had made $289 on that Monday, and I didn't even work 3 hours. I made $289. On Tuesday, I made $375. On Wednesday, I made $358.50. And on Thursday, I didn't make but $80 because I didn't set but one appointment. It was for one quick inspection. I went and got it done. It was $80. But at the end of that week, I had made $1,102.50. Okay. So I already knew I was on the path to what I was trying to do. Why? Because I don't make that much on my job. Not before taxes or after taxes. I wasn't making that type of money on 1 week, and then I didn't even work Friday. We're gonna talk about that because, baby, I got all my Fridays marked off in my book because I'm determined to try to get as much done as I can and push my tail. Okay, get the tail feather wagging and blowing in the wind Monday through Thursday, and have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do what I choose. I'm not quite there yet because sometimes y'all know I'm soft-hearted, and if somebody say, "Deidre, could you please set my appointment for Friday? It's the only day that I have available. I work till 7 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and Friday's the only day I get off at noon." And then I'm like, "Sure, we could do it Friday." But for everybody else, I'll be like, Friday's booked. Okay. But anyway, so I did that the first week. I was like, okay. So second week, I did it again. I said, well, you know what? In order to do this, you're going to have to push harder, which means that you're going to have to come up with some strategies to make sure that you can get these appointments set quicker than what you was doing before. You know, don't give these people no leeway. You're going to have to be in charge. Okay? Make sure that they know if they don't get this done, don't sugarcoat and be like, okay. So, when you decide you want to set up an appointment with a insured, right? And you be nice about it. Because this is what I was doing. At one point, I was like, hi, this is voicemail. Hi, my name is Deidre, and I'm calling you on behalf of your insurance carrier, let's say Heritage. Calling to see about setting up a possible appointment for your inspection for your home on next week at the address of 1111 Broadway Street. Okay, Los Angeles, California, 90038. And if you give me a call back as quickly as you can, it'll be greatly appreciated. My number is 555-555-5555. And once again, this is Deidre calling on behalf of your insurance carrier, Heritage. Thank you. Okay. Now, they like to say that it sounds like it's scammy and all that old stuff, and that's why they didn't call you back. You know how they do. But now, I knew after I made that money that first week, I was like, Deidre, baby, you need to boss, like be boss. So now my voicemails have changed, and it's more like, bling, 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 voicemail. Hi, my name is Deidre. This message is for Sam. I am calling on behalf of your insurance carrier, let's say LaCrosse. LaCrosse has stated that you have a mandatory inspection coming up for your home at the address of 11111 Point of Broadway Street, and I will be your inspector. It is very important that you get back to me as soon as you possibly can so that we can get this situated and get this done and get your file turned in. My number is 323-333-333-333. Y'all get the gist of it. I had to start changing it up and let them know it's a required inspection in order for you to remain with your insurance. Just go ahead and tell the truth and let the truth be what's going to set you free, okay? Let me tell you something. It has changed life. People are calling. And that's a tip for some of you guys who are listening. People will start calling you when you change up the way you say things. Just be nice about it. Write you up a little skit if you need to. Get it memorized and start doing it that way. But anyway, I decided I would do it that way to make sure that the money would start coming in. And one thing I did learn, though, is that it will fluctuate. The next following week, we had a storm come through. Storm came through, rain every day. It was raining. People, Monday, I had 2 people cancel. Well, I thought I was going to make $420. I made $204 on Monday. Tuesday, instead of me making $280, I made $185. On Wednesday, I still made the $333.50 that I was looking to make. But on Thursday, instead of making that $422.37 that I had calculated, I only made $125. But it still brought my total at the end of the week to $847. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, the first week was $1,102 and the second week was $847. Did you still, okay, girl, you own it, you own it. So that next week, it went down about $40, but then on the fourth week, it went all the way back up, and I was like, you know what? Now is the time for you to go full-fledged, spend most of your time getting this stuff done. Why did I decide I needed to do that? Because when you start signing these contracts and you have a full-time job, and you're signing these contracts, you really trying to get out of that job in the first place, right? But you got these people calling you. Now you got people calling you, trying to make appointments during the day while you working. You got people sending you emails. You need to be answering this stuff if you're going to set these appointments and get this work done. Huh? You got appointments that now you got to run around every day in the evening where you thought you was doing maybe one or two here or there. Now your whole day, every day. That's how mine was every day after work. I would immediately get up and be gone. On my last break while I was working, at home, in the house, on my last break, I would get up and change my clothes out and everything and already be dressed. So when I clocked out at 2:30, okay, 2:35, me, my backpack and all, we were in the car, okay? I would go do field inspections from that point until some days I wouldn't get in the house until right at 7 o'clock before I actually make it back in the house because I'm all in the evening traffic. And I was like, geez, now it had become overbearing. Because now I was doing a whole lot more work in field inspection that I was not expecting to do, but it was coming, honey. It was coming hard. So I was like, you know what, Deetra, if you decide that you want to go ahead and cut this loose now you can possibly even start doing you some loan signing too, because now your free time will free up all in the day and you can do other stuff other than be tied down to something that you know you hate doing every day. So I made that choice. I took that leap. And here we are, okay? And the last video that I made, when I told you guys what I made in that month, that was because that's all I had to do. But guess what? It's going to get better, and it's going to get better. I'm going to have some bad months. I'm going to have some good months. I already know that. Excuse me. I'm going to have some good days. I'm going to have some bad days. I already know that. The rain going to stop me sometimes. The weather's going to stop me sometimes. Sometimes people going to be out of town. I already know that. I already know how this game works. And I'm here for it. Okay? So I just thought I'd share that with you guys and let you guys know. Some of you guys are wondering what's really going on. Yes, I did. I let that 9 to 5 go. Please stay tuned. You don't want to miss my series about how you know it's time to let your 9 to 5 go. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll be bringing you some back later. Have a good night.